Eti from Aqua Baba Deliberate Best and our channel so hit a demand subscribe or like share my one pencil me be a tears when you been to Jimre near that Jimon sitting and then some a trick for a moon in some inna embramo near Bobruma, a Bobrumo NDC a catching and some benefit hopper at you for the press conference and within Sabia better to draw HM say a young question and Nando down Quakufuado. You see no, Opes was appointed 5 judges a Supreme Court and I'm to say at if we been a back at him say Kofono or more planning be pa ahead. Na room na yenti fifi kwatin sema or the betuja. What are their actions and what are their steps are omobe take about the kahono with the Pendream
of the people who to miss Sano. And we are the kawa. Some that be almost so makobeni akodi aduro. Ewo eye ban ye kuruma be wi oso. Kusasi ni abrate bi ote ne ba bia ye fa no Osman na ompa ne ho asem omo be wura ne fie say wo mo kwa kokunu omo ko ye pay omo tutu ni nyina na abrate ni hia wo mo pay no emrate anan ya obi akuratuo no waje baako ana okuni ese ni nyina pay mutu na mutu ye bebrebe nyina no anya ne hwe ba mo mutu no no ye dan waje ye ni obi kun Yeni Mensah no. The fourth person, was that Tepa government hospital with critical condition. So you think say you are in charge. You just a man for uniform. Now we do ekwe say you require wire so west wago no. Say you require water man a year staff no. Ebi si bi mo. We makachi ya say ebi tafra ebi no. Enye obi ya na ebe mutuo. Obi wa awututu obo na awase wakrabo enya adwuma eti wono wabo ho a wo so kopa Osman akono no nipa na ya mukwatu ni nyina no Mensah ma nkofie 2024 elections no yesuma asa ko tutu a yesuma asa ko protect ballot adwuma no na so ko protect so we NDC ni o NPP ni o so wo military mo so Ghana police service immigration me for no political color by nipa nkwa yanton ewo Makola market yanton wa Shama market yanton wa Amasama market yanton osu day ana osu night market yanton nipa nkwa ewo ho to you what say wo kwa bo bi yakuna self defense 2024 battle no self defense. And obi our right to say we be funding ho. Jamama say do or die. Me and then we need pray Jamama dey say self defense. Oku obi a won kofi self defense. It make sure say ya suma say ko protect ballot na ya oduma ho say ko protect. Ekotutu ho ku obi wo ha won kofi because self defense ni be ya adwuma. To be nyama gate empire na sama da ka wula se aka no bra ma ne ma wo politicians no mutie ni ye we come all the various political parties. I will not stand here and say me NDC ni NDC ni to me enya ne ensem fata no ahead here yakwesa kwese wo yetim self defense ni ya be ya adwuma twako diwa duro benio wakwa ya ho ahwan obi anfa ho Osman ama ya hu se dadie bi sire dadie bi twa dadie bi mu e ba na ekurum power to the people mame mata wo hwe wo ba ene awie yi migiri se wapom no bibi aboko me we show speedy recovery we free wa wo ba ogabi ho ya we show speedy recovery je se bibi aboko na Premier Bamponsa, a chamunina and every and ata. You move on after young coin. And the end is Amanyoku. Church for penny, I would de Amanyokonin. Maybe at the honorable free quote. The net was Jibra. And then sent for man Remushai, Arazai 11 a.m. Exactly 11 a.m. That press conference in the Power 97.9 FM, the BBR Brown live. Now see. Plot frustrations are aban way edi wa enema oye no e dangerous na president any chief justice enya me na make o wo ma yo ma dwene so mo be pake e Supreme Court no well yetie some afifi ko tekan
halt of federal Supreme Court appointment. We demand that President Akufo-Addo immediately stop any plans to appoint additional judges to the Supreme Court. This reckless action is not just a political maneuver. It is an outrageous assault on our democracy and a betrayal of public trust. Imagine the anger and disbelief as we watch our judiciary being transformed into a puppet of the executive, eroding the very checks and balances that protect our freedom. 2, adherence to constitutional processes. We demand that any future appointment to the Supreme Court must strictly follow the constitutional process, including consultation with the Judicial Council. This blatant disregard for established procedures is not only unconstitutional, but also morally reprehensible. It is a slap in the face to every Ghanaian who believes in the rule of law and the sanctity of our democratic institutions. 3, transparency and accountability. We call for the full disclosure of the criteria and process used for the selection of these judges. This is essential to ensure transparency and accountability. The clandestine and backdoor dealings to appoint loyalists represent a disgrace. This hidden agenda fuels public distrust and fosters a culture of corruption and undermines the integrity of our judiciary. 4, judicial independence. We call on the Chief Justice to uphold the independence of the judiciary by resisting any pressure from the executive to influence judicial appointments. The judiciary is the last bastion of justice, and its independence is sacrosanct. By compromising this independence, the NPP is not just bending the law, they are breaking the very backbone of our democracy. 5, immediate reversal of unconstitutional appointment requests. We demand that the Chief Justice retract the unconstitutional request to appoint additional judges and ensure future actions strictly align with legal and ethical standards. This brazen overreach into the judicial realm is unforgivable. It is time to reverse these illegal actions and restore faith in our judicial system. 6, public and civil society engagement. The government must engage with civil society, legal professionals, and the public to discuss and review the process of judicial appointment, to restore trust and ensure fairness. The voice of the people must be heard. The current administration's attempt to silence dissent and operate in the shadows represent a direct threat to our democratic principles. 7, ensuring merit-based appointment. Future judicial appointment must be based on merit, experience, and integrity.
For Makwaba, Mensah, we term Kakrai headed towards 7 December election. I bomb Kesi, a mass of doing the range of my gun, and can't end this a man you couldn't NPP man you could know. And in United States, no me, and near Jembre, near Boss, doing the Russian Uncle Ponce, or mass of dream of my gun, and more, but we are a pepasui. Come on, now you said, man.
Integrity, rather than political affiliations or loyalties. This is not just about filling seats. It is about ensuring justice for all Ghanaians. The NPP's nepotism and cronyism are creating a judiciary that serves only their interests and not the interests of the people of Ghana. 8, protection of judicial officers. Safeguards must be established to protect judges from political influence and retribution, ensuring they can perform their duties without fear of repercussions. Our judges must be free to uphold the law without fearing for their careers or their lives. The NPP's tactics of intimidation and coercion must be stopped to preserve the sanctity of our judiciary. Ladies and gentlemen, our beloved nation stands at a precipice. Our democracy, painstakingly built by the sacrifices of our forebears is under a grave threat from those who are sworn to uphold it. The blatant, unconstitutional actions of President Akufo-Addo and Chief Justice Gertrude Kotokonu are not just political maneuvers. They are a direct assault on our judicial independence and the very soul of our democracy. Imagine a Ghana where the judiciary becomes a mere extension of a failed executive, a tool for political retribution rather than justice. This is not the Ghana we pledge to fight for. This is not the Ghana we want to pass down to our children. We cannot and we must not remain silent. Our silence will only embolden those who seek to undermine our democratic institutions. We must rise with one voice, loud and clear, to defend our judiciary, to protect our democracy, and to preserve the integrity of our country. Let every Ghanaian, young and old, men and women from every corner of our land stand up against the travesty and brazen attempt to hijack the judiciary. Civil society, the clergy, and all democracy-loving citizens must join hands in this fight. This is not just about political affiliations. This is about the very future of our nation. Let us show the world that Ghanaians will not stand for tyranny, for corruption, and for the erosion of our democratic values. Let us fight with every breath to ensure that justice prevails, to ensure that our institutions remain independent, and that our democracy remains strong. For the sake of our children, for the sake of our future, let us unite and demand accountability. Let us rise.
Very well. That was the General Secretary of the largest opposition party in Ghana, NDC, Honorable Fifi Kwete Onoso Nedia Ode Atu Idano. So over to you, President Akufo-Addo, and over to you, Chief Justice Gertrude Saki Tokunu. Udi di eme depa Tokunu. Mama, what you say? Baby, I will now know the otemrasi. Na arms no obi a wone de. O de ye judiciary. Jai executive no munye o adwuma. Ne jai eye legislature sino obi a nye n'adwuma. Ye de media for no kwa de ya wokoka ye beto yesa afro say contempt. You spare them on any other. To media judges assembly. If you quit na kan enyamia. Pa cho bebre. Chief Justice ayeka no ho asemi. Nidi edi Gertrude Saki Tokunu. Ene ya make say what dismiss a petitioner Martin Amidu Edekoye allegedly filed by the former special prosecutor the TTS Martin Amidu Edekoye, who sought the removal of his successor Kesi Ejabin from office. Na ene my name in penny for trans and much say we more meet the standard required from the removal of the special prosecutor from office. Omo meet disabia make said ye Kesi Ejabin ofa would so ebu adwuma expose omo sa rono na ekoso oni jisika ne ma o minus ye Supreme Court e dia band ze Kesi Ejabin okoso aye na adwuma koso aye adwuma the TTS Martin Amidu na decide ne koye criminal show mami obo am of any the room am for say let now the competition now the president and I say cut out the call say we appointing go for mini there am for say what the ntwa and the judgment out there be nkanya bad mama nye didie wo judiciary no mama niam asesa mama niam asesa ati ase nti yesa enko yenime Mr. Richard Japa ye boni dia na chese ye ka aye ambulance aye trial ya honorable aye Dr. Kesi forcing or minority leader ni hu ewum na ensem nyina wodwene hu a na saba bi jaabo na papa ya wono no se cross examination no ma cross examine no awie no ya ona ye the third accused aye person Richard Japa businessman na wo aye military mo na eji e de krata bi koda court no say ye sake no ofi aye court na papa no Japa aba Montana beka ensem different. Or say he was never be ansakeno from the military. But yet a Japa ensema or the aba. Nature say the whole attorney general won't be to me a fake letter. attend saa document as an evidence. Obi a military mu no say bibi a de be say confidential. So I was even surprised. Say the Ghana Armed Forces, yeah, you need no. Omo betimi release will be who nsem e dia Akroma Attorney General say, now what has that ambulance case no got to do with will be military man? But omo motembra na se na tembra na se. Ye tie sema we che japa or the atuja when our join Newz.
Someone who went through 2 years training and was the top in his intake in skill at arms and won that award after 2 years training competing with his colleagues and won that award cannot be somebody who can suddenly, without any cause, lose interest in the armed forces. Weapon handling and anything that has to do with weapon.
Update TV.